Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi is almost here, and this is one of the greatest UFC fight cards I've seen on paper in my entire time as being a UFC fan. It is just stacked from top to bottom. The main card is incredible. I'm really looking forward to that Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev main event for the lightweight title. But not only is the main card stacked, the prelims are absolutely amazing as well. And headlining the prelims, we have Belal Muhammad versus Sean Brady. And this is going to be my full breakdown and prediction for this fight. And I cannot believe that this welterweight matchup is headlining the prelims. This is a main card fight. I understand why the UFC is doing it. They're trying to draw people into watching the prelims and inevitably buy the pay-per-view card. But this is a fight that could headline a UFC Fight Night main event. That's how good this fight is. It's a high-level fight. It's two top 10 ranked guys. It's an incredible stylistic matchup. And it really does belong on the main card of UFC 280. It's an incredible fight. And you look at these two guys. Right now, where they sit in the division, they are in a very good spot to challenge for that welterweight title in the near future. Whoever wins this fight is going to be in a very good spot in the welterweight division, because right now you have Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman 3 happening sometime in the first quarter of 2023. After that, you have Khamzat Chimaev kind of looming out in the wings, potentially getting a title shot next. But he may move to 185 pounds. So next up would be the winner of Belal Muhammad versus Sean Brady. So worst case scenario, the winner of this fight is maybe one fight away from a welterweight title shot. Best case scenario, they could be fighting for the welterweight title in their next fight. Or you could see the winner of this fight Khamzat Chimaev early next year or late this year, depending on, how quick of a turnaround they want, for a #1 contender spot. And this is an amazing stylistic matchup. Both guys are excellent grapplers, and I can't wait to see how this fight plays out. And it is a very difficult fight to predict. I'm also going to be doing a bunch of other UFC 280 prediction videos, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss those. If you look at the tail of the tape for this fight, you have Belal Muhammad, who has a 21-3 record. Sean Brady, undefeated, 15-0. Muhammad's ranked number 5. Brady's ranked number 8 in the UFC official rankings. Muhammad is 34 years old. Brady is 29. Muhammad is 5'11". Brady is 5'10". Muhammad has a 72-inch reach, and Brady has a 72.5-inch reach. So if you look at Belal Muhammad, he comes into this fight on a 3-fight winning streak, but it could arguably be a 7-fight win streak because he has that no contest against Leon Edwards sandwiched in between all those wins. His last loss was to Jeff Neal back in January of 2019. I mean, that's his last loss, and it's not a horrible loss to have. His most recent fight was against Vicente Luque, April of this year. I actually picked against him in this fight. I thought Vicente Luque would be able to keep the fight standing long enough to land some good shots and either win a decision or potentially finish Belal Muhammad again, because he finished him, back in, I believe, 2016. But he went out there. Not only did he do good striking off the back foot, he mixed in the takedowns, and that's basically the story of this fight. Well-timed takedowns against Vicente Luque as he was pressuring in. Belal Muhammad would get him down, hold him down for a few minutes. Sometimes Luque would scramble back to his feet, but Muhammad would just win rounds with his superior grappling. The fight before that, he beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I picked against Belal here again. I've doubted Belal a lot here, but he went out there and just out-grappled Wonderboy Thompson for the entire fight. Just went out there and dominated him from start to finish. Wonderboy had no answers for him. And I think that's why Wonderboy Thompson, he won't even fight anybody now that had wrestled in middle school. That's how bad Belal Muhammad beat him. The fight before that was against Damian Maia. I actually think this was a horrible performance by Belal Muhammad. He won, but he didn't look particularly impressive. And I know Damian Maia is one of those fighters who's really hard to look good against. But Damian Maia was able to get him down, I think, once or twice. And I get it, Damian Maia, you have to be worried about the takedown. You have to be worried about the jiu-jitsu. But there was just a lack of urgency from Belal Muhammad in this fight. But he wins via decision. And then before that, he had a no contest against Leon Edwards. He did step in on short notice. This was back in March of 2021. Leon Edwards was supposed to take on Khamzat Chimaev. Chimaev pulled out. Belal stepped in on short notice. And I honestly believe that Leon Edwards was well on his way to beating Belal Muhammad. He was lighting him up on the feet. Unfortunately, he pokes him in the eye. Belal could no longer continue. And so it ends up being a no contest, and Belal Muhammad gets out of there unscathed, basically, outside of the eye injury. Moving on to Sean Brady. Sean Brady is undefeated. He's won 15 fights in a row. His most recent fight was against Michael Chiesa back in November of last year. And Michael Chiesa is a very good grappler. He wants to get you down, he wants to take your back, and he wants to submit you. Sean Brady went out there and out-grappled Michael Chiesa for the majority of the fight. Sean Brady did start to fade in the later rounds, in the third round. And at the end of the third round, Chiesa was lighting him up on the feet, and then ended up, I think Sean Brady looked for a clinch, looked for a takedown, and then ended up in full mount pounding on Sean Brady to end the fight. Had this been a 5-round fight, I think Michael Chiesa could have won this fight. The fight before that, he had a stoppage win in the third round against Jake Matthews. He won via third-round arm triangle. This win has aged quite well. Jake Matthews looked very good in his last fight against Andre Fialho. The fight before that, he fought Christian Aguilera. He won via guillotine in the second round. And this fight, and I know Aguilera isn't like a great fighter or anything, but Brady was brutally chopping the leg, showed great leg kicks in this fight, and showed decent striking in this fight. He won it with his grappling, but he was looking very good on the feet as well. And outside of that, there's really no other notable wins. He came in the UFC, he fought Court McGee in his UFC debut, but outside of that, there's really no notable names on his resume outside of the UFC. He's 15-0 now. He has 3 wins by knockout, 4 by submission, and 8 by decision. So Sean Brady typically wins by decision. Belal Muhammad has 21 wins, 4 by knockout, 1 by submission, and 16 by decision. So both of these guys like to win by decision. Of Belal Muhammad's 3 losses, he's only been finished 1 time. The other 2 losses were by decision. So both guys are very durable fighters. And that's what makes this fight very interesting. Both guys, Sean Brady and Belal Muhammad, have very similar skill sets. Both guys aren't the greatest of strikers, but they get by. They have decent striking, and they primarily rely on their wrestling and their pressure. Belal Muhammad relies on pressure because his striking isn't that great and his threat of the takedown. And that's what makes this fight so interesting, because who's going to be able to bully who? I know Belal Muhammad's nickname is the Bully, but who's going to be able to bully who in this fight? Because I'm curious, because I believe whoever has the superior grappling in this fight will win this fight. And I think if I had to give an edge, because I think it's very close, I think Sean Brady's a little bit better grappler, and I think Belal Muhammad is a little bit better striker, and I think Belal Muhammad's hands have gotten better over the past few years, and he's very good at moving backwards, moving side to side, and just peppering some striking. And I think Sean Brady, but neither one of these guys is an elite level striker, but Sean Brady still needs to evolve his hands quite a bit. They did not look good against Michael Chiesa. If Michael Chiesa is lighting you up, even in the third round, but I think Chiesa landed some good shots in the second round as well. If Michael Chiesa is lighting you up on the feet, you need to work on your striking. And I believe he will have worked on his striking. I believe he's going to be improving, but I still think the striking leaves a lot to be desired. So I really see a fight that's just super competitive. I think it's going to be super gritty. I think it's going to be super close. And my official prediction for this fight is going to be Sean Brady via decision. I just think the difference in this fight, I think Belal Muhammad's going to land some good shots on the feet, but I think Sean Brady is just a little bit better grappler. And I think that you look at Belal Muhammad, he's a very good grappler himself, but he's had some issues in the past with people holding him against the fence. Damian Maia, for example, was able to hold him against the fence. Even in the Vicente Luque fight, I know he out-grappled Vicente Luque, but he wasn't able to really, he held him down for a couple minutes, but Vicente Luque was always able to work his way back to his feet the majority of the fight. So I don't see Belal Muhammad going out there and taking Sean Brady down and holding him down and winning a fight that way. I think if Belal Muhammad gets a takedown off Sean Brady's pressure, I think Sean Brady will work his way right back to his feet. And I think Sean Brady not only is the stronger fighter, I think he has the better wrestling. I think he has the better takedowns. I think Belal has the slight edge in the striking department, but I also believe that Sean Brady has the better jiu-jitsu. So once he gets Belal Muhammad down, I think he'll be able to advance the position. He likes to get that one hook up against the fence and control guys up against the fence. He doesn't land a whole lot of ground and pound, but he's constantly looking for submissions. He's got a lightning fast guillotine. If you leave your neck exposed for even a second, he will snatch up your neck. And I think in this fight, what it's going to come down to is control time. I see Sean Brady pushing Belal Muhammad up against the fence, looking for takedowns. I think Belal will have some success defending the takedowns because he's a very good grappler as well. But I think that control time up against the fence and then the inevitable takedown from Sean Brady, even if he gets him down for 30, 45 seconds and Belal pops back to a foot and then Brady walks, works another takedown on him against the fence. I think that's going to win him rounds and inevitably win him the fight. I could see this being like a 29-28 for Sean Brady, but I also could see Sean Brady winning all 3 rounds with the control time. I'm a little bit worried about Sean Brady's cardio. We know where Belal Muhammad's cardio is. He went 5 rounds in his last fight against Vicente Luque, who's a very good pressure fighter. But, I don't think the cardio issue, apparently Sean Brady had an issue with his nose, and he did break his nose early in the first round against Michael Chiesa, at least I think it was broken. It was bleeding heavily in that first round. So I kind of give him a pass. I'm a little bit suspicious about the cardio, and we know Belal has great cardio, but this is not a 5-round fight. This is a 3-round fight. So even if he fades, I think Belal Muhammad maybe wins the 3rd round. And I think Belal will have some moments on the feet. I think he looked very good backing up against Vicente Luque. Luque pressured him the entire fight, and Belal looked very good with his backward movement, his side-to-side movement, and he was landing some decent shots on the guard of Vicente Luque and busting him up a little bit on the feet. And Vicente Luque is a far superior striker than Sean Brady. But the thing is, when Belal Muhammad is not able to pressure fight, he's just not as good as he is usually when he's able to just move forward. And I think Brady will be pressuring Belal Muhammad, pressing him against the fence, getting him down for, a minute or two. Then Belal will work his way back to his feet. And I think this is going to be a gritty, grinding fight for Sean Brady, and I think the grappling advantage of Sean Brady is going to win him this fight by decision. And I think this is going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be, some people are going to call it boring, but I think it's going to be a high-level grappling matchup where there's going to be a lot of scrambles. I think Belal's going to try to scramble back to his feet, but Sean Brady is very good at flowing on top of certain guys and just moving with the transitions. He's very good at getting the back, and I see a lot of positions in this fight where Belal Muhammad will be on one knee up against the fence. Sean Brady will have one hook in, landing some ground and pound up against the fence. Then Belal will work his way back to his feet, and then Sean Brady will get him down again. And it's going to be a very gritty, grind-him-out fight for Sean Brady. So I got Sean Brady by decision. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and thank you so much for watching.